25 of Brandon Miller behind him, who just went through him a little bit. Sam does have an issue with being low on blinker fluid. Not sure if that's what caused that or not. Oh, Sanchez. Very lucky not to hit Sam head on. Damn. Derek Myers, the teammate of Gerald West. Oh, and the 98 of Jerry Glenn's just gone round. I think that was off the bumper of Logan Lansford. And that is going to give the advantage to Gerald West here on the outside line. But can they hold it? That is the question. Did they make their move too soon? Thomas Harmon sitting there just in behind them. He moves up, Derek blocks, he moves down, Derek blocks again. And we have contact. Derek Myers goes round, the win is going to Thomas Harmon. Thomas Harmon wins this race. P2 goes to Brian Harris, P3 to Logan Lansford. What an incredible... Little bit of a surprise, but he gained 12 positions. Started down in some bumhole position right towards the back and up finishing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Gladiator 170 right here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. Hope you're all having a fantastic evening out there. At the moment, we currently have 25 cars to take on the racing action here tonight at 33-44 strength of field. And if you've never experienced the iRacing thing before, strength of field is, the combination of iRating, which is what iRacing uses to determine people's driver skill, although it's completely inaccurate and wrong in every way. But anyway, 33-44, 25 cars. It should be a bit of fun here at the Atlanta Super Speedway, as everyone looks like they're getting ready for a pit party. A little bit of stack up there on pit road. It looks like everyone is rolling now. And with this track basically being a super speedway these days, and it means that everyone is just going to be pit partying constantly. Because they go out and simulate race starts just because, well, it's a super speedway. Single car driving is not going to do anything for you. We currently have 23 cars that have taken time so far, 2 that have not. And number 1 car is Travis Barnes at the moment in the 106, and he set a time of 29.118. And we might see that time fall here in this pit party. We'll wait and see. The field comes out of turn 4. There's the 67. The Scott Bloomquist tribute paint for Mr. Brian Chambliss. And they're racing. That was a very late start for everyone. No one knew what was going on. They were probably all waiting for me to say green flag, even though I'm commentating. So, no, I can't. Almost instantaneously, because of the stacked up start, everyone just diving down to the inside lane. Not much 2x2 going on at all. But that'll change very soon now that we've got most people out there doing the drafting thing. And I think our fast time from practice so far, Mr. Travis Barnes, actually isn't in the server anymore. He might crash. I did see him blinking quite horrifically earlier. So we might already be down to 24 cars. Oh, that's a 61. Corey Cook on the apron. It's not the place he'd want to be. As we get into the 2x2 formation once more, this time at high speed. Down into turns 1 and 2. And we have the camera to focus on crashes, which is why it's mostly sticking to the mid-packs there. Currently looking at Frank Isaacson and Kyle Kraus at the back of the main pack here. Oh, they're very sketchy up front. Second pack being led by Thomas Harmon, who just set the fast time, if you don't mind. 29.009. Time starting to fall. Fizikemi and Kyle Kraus also jump up into the top 3 in times. Demoting Travis Barnes down to 4th. Frank Isaacson now in the thick of it. We've got a big group going on here. There's 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Frank's in the fence. Thomas was on the apron. More people jump up into the top 5. I see Pentacup and Cook up there now. Sanchez, he was right down towards the bottom earlier. He's jumped all the way up into 9th. And I just want to bring our attention to the 39 car real quick, actually. See if we can get a tighter shot in on him. That's the 39, James Watson. Normally he's in a Team Watson Racing Setups car, but he's got a one-off paint scheme just for this week. And it's actually a tribute paint. One of his friends and teammates from Team Watson Racing had a stillborn pregnancy yesterday. So this is a tribute paint for that particular thing. Thoughts and wishes goes out to Jay's teammate and family. As we have the big one. Oh no, James is caught up in it. Through the grass he goes. Kyle Kraus had a flip. Sanchez was involved in it as well. League founder Jaron Sanchez, that is. Oh, and there's another one. Into turn 3. That one looked like it was caused by Andrew Perkins. Didn't see what caused the first one, but we saw that one. And there's more drama. More crashing. But the fact that we went so well for so long there in the pit party means that the race is probably only going to be disaster. It's just the natural way of things. Time is ticking down here in practice, so just 7 minutes left. And we'll jump out with 6 minutes left so we can, thank the sponsors and all that. We see some nice drafting here between Matt Horton and Jonas Marquez. Matt Horton in the 51, Jonas in the 00. Austin Collins still yet to set a lap time in the 74 car. Andrew Griesbaum has just joined the server. So now our strength of field goes up to a 33.62 instead of a 33.44. Top 10 as it stands right now is Harmon, Pizzakemi, Cook, Kraus, Pentecost, Barnes, Watson, Horton, Sanchez, and Isaacson. Or if we use first names only, then it's Thomas, Brian, Corey, Kyle, Mark, Travis, James, Matt, Jaron, and Frank. Speaking of Frank, there's Jack Sanders in the 25, and the 24 is Mr. Frank Isaacson. The Autism Awareness paint scheme. He does a lot of things for autism awareness, and we're so very glad that we have Frank racing with us every single week. He even raced the 2 non-broadcast series that we do. They've been joined by Thad Faylor there in the 21 car. I think we might have lost Matt Horton from the race unless he's just working on some adjustments within his setup. Because now we have just under 4 minutes left. It should be a very interesting race though. The way that these cars act, they can be very loose on entry, very tight on exit. So we're either going to see people crashing as getting into the corners because they're just full throttling too hard, or they're going to be pushing up into the fence coming out of the corners. Oh, and around goes Sanders off the nose of Isaacson. His 2 left side tyres actually lifted up off the ground there briefly. So he almost had a blowover. Now we look at the 5 of Mark Pentecalf and the 13 of Travis Massier. Pentecalf in 5th, Massier down in 20th. Just hasn't really been able to get a good run in. And with the exception of Griesbaum, the top 24 separated by just 0.784 of a second. Our top 3 all separated by less than a tenth. Now we've got Corey Cook and Kyle Kraus in this little group. I reckon Mark might be a little bit of a dark horse here. As long as he doesn't get involved in anything, he is in with a shot of winning this race. Normally he's a bit of a backpacker, but I reckon he'll do good things in this race. As he just has a crash on the back straight. Oh, commentator's curse right there personified. Poor Mark. Sorry, Mark. I won't say anything nice about you ever again. There's the double O Jonas Marquez. Right in front of him is Andrew Perkins in the 47, and it's Brian Pizzakemi in the 78, and leading the pack there, 38 of Thomas Harmon. We've got a couple of fast guys in this little group. There are 27 cars on the grid as Sisler has just joined in on the shenanigans. We also have about 100 seconds left of practice now. So this means we are going to go for a quick commercial break so these guys can get out there and do their qualifying. And when we come back, we will have all the racing action for the Gladiator 170 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Racing action will be coming up very shortly. Welcome back. Qualifying is just about complete for the Gladiator 170 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. There it is. It's just complete now. And you see, being able to see other people after qualifying has definitely led to some interesting things going on here. And yeah, it's just been it's been weird. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure where anyone's actually going to be at for qualifying right now because of the way iRacing has changed things in the season. So we're just waiting for time to completely run down here for qualifying. Then we'll get going for the race. There it is. And that's showing practice results. Excellent. That's not what I need. But here we go. Race time now as we get the grid. On the pole will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon. On his outside will be the 61 of Corey Cook. Out of P3, we'll have the 106 of Travis Barnes. P4 will be the 15 of Ken Campbell. P5, we'll see the 5 of Mark Pentecoff. P6 will be Matt Sisler. P7, we will see the 25 of Jack Sanders. P8, the 24 Frank Isaacson. P9, we'll see the 7 of Kyle Kraus with P10, 22 Reggie Ortega. P11 will be the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum with the 94 of Andrew Hennessy, and a terrible qualifying effort there in P12. The 03 TJ Cranton in lucky number 13. James Watson in the 39 will be out of 14th. 15th position will have Chris Champeau in the 12. P16, the 13 of Travis Massia. We've got Brian Chambliss in the 67 car. He will be out of 17th with the 9 of Joe Slama out of 18th. 19th will be the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez with P20, the 05 of Scott Rickard. Terrible qualifying for both of those as well. Andrew Perkins will be out of 21st. Thad Faylor out of 22nd. Austin Collins will be out of 23rd. Terrible qualifying effort for him. It didn't look like he even tried. Matt Horton out of 24th. League founder Jaron Sanchez will be out of 25th with Brian Pizzakemi out of 26th position. And wrapping up the field will be the double O of Jonas Marquez. So that is your field of 27 to take on the racing here tonight. Everyone makes their way out onto the track. And it's been a long time since Thomas Harmon has been able to capture a pole here in the Output Racing League on a Tuesday night. So let's see how he's going to do here tonight. "110 laps of this Atlanta Motor Speedway. They make their way through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. That's not good to see. The first start is on green. All the restarts will be on the leader inside of the restart zone. The Gladiator 170 is underway. The very slow start for most by the looks of things. It was a first gear start, 55 mile an hour pace speed. 72 kilometers an hour for those who are refined in the way they talk about numbers. Thomas Harmon leading the way. Travis Barnes right on his tail. And because Super Speedway, we're just immediately going to focus on crashes. Still sitting up here with our front group, the 5 of Mark Pentecoff. He's not used to starting this far up towards the front. So I bet this was a huge shock for him, and he's all for it. As they have already completed 1 lap. And they did so without incident, which is surprising. We'll give them a couple of laps to let them warm up their tyres, get them right into the sweet spot of carnage. Andrew Hennessy on the outside line there, just trying to find his way through the field a little bit. Uncharacteristically bad qualifying for him. Mark Pentecoff still looking the goods right up there, 3rd in line on the inside. Corey Cook still trying to make something on that outside line. Trying to challenge the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Travis Barnes right on the tail. The netcode is probably going to be a big issue here as well. And that's just merely for the case of, you know, this is 1 week removed from week 13, which is the new build week. So this is the first proper race of the season. Well, for the iRacing official season. And normally there's still just a little bit of extra netcode, just as, you know, they've got new things in and the server's trying to handle it and all that stuff. Still Thomas Harmon, no. Officially Travis Barnes was across the line in 2nd last time by. But Corey Cook still just trying to fight so hard on the outside line. The outside line's actually being helped a lot here by the fact that Mark Pentecoff is 3rd in line on the inside. But Mark, in his own respect, doing a phenomenal job there in P4. As he now gets underneath the Corey Cook. And straight forward go once more. And I'm actually surprised about how stable everyone looks, especially after some of the things that I saw throughout practice. Go back to focusing on crashes a little bit. Let's just look in the pack. There's the 22 Reggie Otega. He's behind the 24 of Frank Isaacson. And just in front of the 94 of Hennessy. Andrew Griesbaum on his inside. He's still got his flag waving backwards. I guess he's just always in a state of distress. The 03 was looking a little bit shifty there in the corner. That's TJ Crampton. Got right up close to Hennessy in the middle of the corner there. One thing's for sure, it's definitely hard to make up ground around this track. Unless the big one is to happen. We're already almost 10 laps into this race. Big 9 complete at the line this time. And it looks like the handle's starting to go away on some of these trucks. And you see all that apron down there on the front straight. As much as the drivers would like to use all that apron to make passes and stuff, they're not allowed to. It's in the rules. They're allowed to cut it slightly just because of how harsh it is here. But they can't completely just cut it and ignore it like they do on other 1.5 tracks. Because this is basically a super speedway. Super speedway line rule exists. So Travis Barnes was trying to unsettle Thomas Harmon there at the front of the pack. Corey Cook fighting back on the outside as well. The outside line starting to look a little bit better on tyres. Because with that inside line, you got to lift a little bit, make sure you don't overuse your tyres on entry or exit. I bet if you're looking at the telemetry of all these cars, all the ones at the front at the very least, none of them are lifting. But we've made it this far without even an inkling of an incident. Oh, as we might start getting one here soon. People definitely starting to get very sketchy now. Mark Pentacuff very sideways coming out of the tri-oval. The tyres are definitely in that temperature window where things are just going to get a little bit skatey through the tri-oval. Which means these cars are very skatey on entry of the corner and very tight on exit. Mark Pentacuff a little bit all over the show at the moment. As I said, he's not really used to being up this high. Not in these cars at least, not on a Tuesday night. On a Thursday night, he generally has no choice because we do an invert. Same with Monday nights. Oh, but he's pushing right up the track there. Just about sliding into the side of the 61 of Corey Cook. 7 of Kraus also looking a little bit unsettled there. The top 3 on the inside line have completely cleared the outside now. The handle's probably starting to go away from the outside line a little bit. Oh, drifting into the corner was Pentacuff. See some of the guys behind starting to get a little bit antsy. Unsure about how Mark's driving's going at the moment because Mark seems to have really roasted those tyres. And also in a little bit of desperation just to try and make some moves by the looks of things. Maybe get some air on the nose of the car. They just try and get some cool air into the engine. Oh, Mark, careful. That's a lot of apron you just took there. Personally, I have all the faith in the world in Mark. He ain't no fool as we go 3 wide behind. That's not the right one. That is the 24, Frank Isaacson, on the outside of 3 wide now. Just got shuffled out of line and he's falling. Just sneaking in front of the 97. That's Andrew Perkins. Perkins just left him enough room to be able to do that. As now Isaacson has to recover, get back up to speed, get going again. Hope he hasn't burnt up his tyres too much. There's no relaxing around a track like this. Just all action all the time. As that was close between Pentacuff and Cook. The way these cars are moving around in the draft is kind of scary sometimes. The big one could happen from any moment as Mark Pentecoff slid up the track. He's now in the top lane, just slid in front of Ken Campbell. Ken gave him a lot of space there to be able to make that mistake. And Corey Cook has found his way into Mark's old spot on the inside line, so now Mark leading the outside line. And it looks like Mark is going to give them the middle. He's going to drop to the outside to drop back. He said, I've had my fun. James shat my pants, and now I'm moving to the back. As now we go back to focusing anywhere and everywhere. The front of the pack has calmed down a little bit, single filing out all the way up to Andrew Griesbaum, who is in 6th. He's been challenged by the 94 and the 15. And at the 94, Andrew Hennessy certainly looking strong right now, especially with that 15 of Ken Campbell on his tail. Reggie Ortega up there as well, so too is the 9 of Joe Slama looking to make something happen. This is where things could get interesting. Especially now Andrew Hennessy has clear air. He is flying along on this outside line. Let's sit it on him and watch his progress. He's already made it up to Corey Cook, who jumps up in front of him. Corey Cook now leading the outside line once more. Jack Sanders has to try and catch up to Travis Barnes as fast as he can. He wants to try and help this inside line to work. Corey Cook now side by side with your race leader. Travis Barnes doing everything in his power to try and keep Thomas ahead, but the outside line is so much more organised. Oh, there's contact between Cook and Harmon. They're 3 wide for the lead. Cook has been shafted here. Thomas in a great position leading the outside line now, but his tyres I think are gone. They're definitely not as good as what Hennessy's tyres are right now, heat wise. Travis Barnes now on the inside. He's got clear air on his nose. So he'll be very thankful for this after pushing for so hard for those few laps. Bring the engine temps down, maybe even bring the tyre temps down slightly. As there's more contact between Barnes and Hennessy. That was coming out of turn 2. The amount of doors being thrown here is incredible, especially the amount of doors being thrown without incident. Thomas Harmon still leading the way. Now just bear in mind, a lot of the contact that we're seeing could just be netcode. But netcode can also be very dangerous. And if you don't know what netcode is basically lag. Oh, as Sanders, the 25 truck got very loose there, coming out of the tri-oval. That has absolutely stunted all the momentum in the inside lane. Travis Barnes out there on his own. Now Hennessy and Harmon have taken over the lead clean and clear. And they both dive down into the low lane now. Right in front of Travis Barnes. Travis Barnes goes from leading the lane to being 3rd in lane, back to being 2nd in lane, pushing Thomas Harmon. Thomas should have stayed up high. Because now here comes Andrew Hennessy Oh, and Thomas has gone around. He saved it. His tyres will be absolutely roasted. Just got a bump in the wrong spot by Travis Barnes there. And it sent the 38 truck around. He will not be happy about that. And this means the 94 Andrew Hennessy leading the way once more. We're going to sneak off for a quick commercial break here. Oh, no, we're not. Around. I think we got the big one here. Just trying to find out. It was the 93 Matt Sisler. They come into turn 3. He's got Corey Cook on his back bumper. There was a bit of checkup in front. Cook could not get checked up in time. A little bit of contact made. Around goes Jack. There was contact as well with Jack Sanders. Travis Barnes is involved as well. TJ Cranton's got a piece of it. That might have broken the right front on the 03 car. At the 67, Chambliss nowhere to go. Jonathan Hernandez, how did he get through that? That was nuts. Let's go back and look on board the 2 car there. Once I find the right camera angle, here it is. He sees the crash happening and he's trying to slow down, by the looks of things. He kind of half committed to the high line, thinking they were going to start washing down, and they didn't. And just look at that. No contact made whatsoever. Alright, with that, we are now going to take the advantage of going for a commercial break. When we come back, we'll return to racing action. So stay tuned. More racing action coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Gladiator 170 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We had 5 cars stay out. So our top 5, Perkins, Watson, Champeau, Griesbaum and Masia did not pit. Ken Campbell was out there not pitting, but he has pitted now. And he is down the order a bit. It says he's in P8, but he's not. But he'll be right there where Joe Salama is. But the 97 is the race leader, Andrew Perkins. He does have lane choice. He chose the outside lane. And he will lead us away in the restart zone. The top 5, as I said, all on old tyres. Bit of a risky choice, but got to do what you got to do as we're off and racing once more. A lot of check up there on the outside line. But it's a great restart for the 97 of Perkins. And he's going to lead them through turns 1 and 2. James Watson is now in the second position. Got Chris Champeau up there as well in third. As everyone trying to muscle around pole position. Contact between Griesbaum and Champeau. Champeau got put right onto the apron. And that will definitely not make him very happy. Go back to focusing on crashes. We're looking at our leaders again once more. Andrew Griesbaum leading that outside lane with Reggie Ortega on his bumper. Reggie, at the moment, the first car on 4 fresh tyres. Griesbaum trying to muscle his way around the outside of Perkins, who does have Watson there for support, but Watson not exactly pushing like he probably should. As also there's more drama in the background. The 05 Scott Rickard was running very high there in a tri-oval. He might have caught the wall slightly. Go down the back straight once more. 3 wide now for the second position. Reggie Ortega said, no, I'm not going to follow you no more. I got fresh tyres. I'm going to take this one as the leader of the outside line. Got Joe Slama and Andrew Hennessy there with him as well, who are also on fresh tyres. Travis Barnes has done really well to get back up into the 6th position. He's third in line on the inside there. He is also on fresh tyres, but he's behind 2 cars on old tyres. As Ortega looked like he tried to sneak down to the low line, just couldn't quite get clear of the 97 car. As Barnes now goes up to the outside lane, he's recognised that these guys in front of him are probably going to not be running as fast as what these guys are. Here comes Frank Isaacson now as well up on the inside lane. Inside lane is good when it works, but when it doesn't, it could be disastrous. They come out turn 4 once more. Reggie Ortega leading the way, but trying to sneak around the outside is the 9 Slama, who is getting a monstrous push there from Andrew Hennessy in the 94. Now Slama has the choice. He can go down if he wants, but if I was him, I would stay in that high line because that high lane is working an absolute treat. Especially with the 94 of Hennessy on his tail, as Travis Barnes caught the fence a little bit there. Ortega looked a little bit unsettled coming out of 4. Perkins still trying to do whatever he can to maintain position, but TJ Crampton is OUT out of the race. Ken Campbell is a lap down. Not sure how Ken went a lap down, but he is a lap down now. Like he came in and made an extra stop under green, possibly. So he'll be hoping for a quick caution here. That way he can get back onto the lead lap. But look at this 3-car tandem on the outside line. It's Slama, Hennessy, and Barnes. Joined by the 38 of Thomas Harmon now. Get a little bit of a gap going in the corners. Tighten right up on the straight. And they are absolutely running this right now with the outside line. But at 24, Frank Isaacson has made his way to the outside line as well. He'll be trying to get onto the back of Thomas Harmon. Dan Campbell's just about a sitting duck here. He's almost going to be 2 laps down, just for the mere fact of he's going to have no draft. So he's hoping for a very, very quick caution here within the next couple of laps, because a couple of laps is all it's going to take for him to go a lap down. Andrew Perkins very struggling with those older tyres. Slid right up towards the door of Frank Isaacson, as trying to force his way into the outside line was Ortega, and he managed to get there, sneaking in front of Frank Isaacson. Frank was actually very generous there. Frank could have stayed in it and just turned Ortega into defense, but that's not the way Frank races. Frank, one of the gentleman drivers, just getting bullied for position a little bit. As the field now converges onto Ken Campbell. It sucks seeing Ken going a lap down. Normally he's one of our top competitors. And it just looks like an unfortunate circumstance has led him to go 2 laps down here. As we're now 48 laps complete. Just 12 away from, sorry, not even 12, just 7 away from the halfway marker. Make that 7.5, because math is strong with this one. It looks like we're mostly getting a single file train around the outside here. Everyone's figured out that outside line is probably where you want to be. TJ Cranton back in the race. He's 15 laps down now. There's still plenty of chance that he'll make up positions if we get more crashes later on. But in certain circumstances, that could be a very big if. It looks like all these top guys have absolutely abandoned any semblance of wanting to run the low line. I was saying that Kyle Kraus, the first car on the inside lane, and he is starting to make up some positions. This is the problem with whether you're inside or outside. Checkups happen, and it will stall out the momentum of the lane you're in. Generally, they're more severe on the inside though, but the inside is also still usually preferred way around. But still Joe Slama leading away from Hennessy and Barnes. Ortega back there in P5, looking like he wants to try and make some moves. He's waiting for the inside line to catch up, and then he's going to duck down into it, I think. As you can see, the inside line has a bit of momentum rolling right now. Ken Campbell being second in line there on the inside is definitely a big help. Feels like the momentum's just not quite great enough for it to really make too much of a difference. And just having a quick look here, I think Perkins would be the hard charger at this. Actually, no. Slama would be the hard charger at this point. 18th to first so far. A plus 17. that momentum of the inside line is starting to pick up again, as I said. And Reggie Ortega had the opportunity to jump down in front, but didn't, as we're at the halfway mark, 55 down, 55 to go. 54 to go when they get the start-finish line this time. And things really have calmed down quite a bit here. Looks like Travis Barnes just searching around a little bit for some clear air. So too was the 94 of Hennessy. Both of them right now just content to be running behind Slama. The momentum on the inside line has been shut down. And we've got a whole bunch of people in the pits. So Champo, Watson, Griesbaum, Massia, Perkins and Campbell all in the pits. That'll be why we lost all that momentum for the inside line. Those guys knew that we had to make one more stop regardless. And they're banking on there being no caution. As now the 94 of Hennessy moves out of the line. He's gone to the inside. He sees the momentum of the inside. He's been hooked up with Kyle Kraus. Can he take advantage and take the lead away now? We'll wait and see. Side by side go our leaders. Travis Barnes now pushing for everything he's worth on the back of the Slama car. Good to see the 4. Jared Sanchez right up in the mix as well. He's in P8. Slama got a little bit loose. The bumps are starting to become serious. No one wants to back off. And I just realized that group that pitted are the group that didn't pit under the caution. As now Travis Barnes jumps to the inside line. He's trying to take advantage over the Slama car, and he's going to. Gets clean and clear. The 94 of Hennessy is also clear on the outside line, but not for long. As the momentum starts to swing back to the advantage of the outside. What will Travis Barnes do? We know he's a very aggressive driver. Right now he's just sitting there taking the push from Hennessy. And that's working out to their huge advantage. As Slama and Harmon just can't quite get hooked up nicely. It looks like they might have done now. But it's advantage inside lane. As now Hennessy just dodges away from Barnes. He's going to lead the outside lane. Slama on his tail. Harmon right there as well. 2 by 2 we go once more. And it's back. Advantage outside lane. Hennessy now jumps down low. He's blocking both lanes. He didn't quite get back down enough to keep on blocking that low lane. A little bit of a shot from the 9 of Slama saying, hey, stay up here, let me push you. Don't do that again. Side drafting. Starting to get really aggressive. Corey Cook in threat of going a lap down. Didn't even realize Cook had lost the draft, but there you go. Travis Barnes side drafting for everything it's worth. Corey Cook not the only one there. Andrew Perkins, who was 2 laps down, is right there as well. And that could shake things up here for the front of the field. As the front of the field is getting sketchy already. Things have already been shook up contact between Hennessy and Barnes. Starting to get real aggressive. Barnes sneaks up in front of Hennessy. Corey Cook goes to the apron, gets it right out of the way. Hennessy now dodges away from Barnes once more. Couldn't quite get there. Barnes covered him off. Barnes working both lanes. Hennessy just wanting to go to the lane that Barnes is not in. Slammer and Harmon struggling. Onto the apron goes Perkins. He gets out of the way. It looked like for a minute he almost wasn't going to. And now he's back on the track. Still up in there with the lead lap traffic. Here goes Hennessy now on the inside. Kyle Kraus out of nowhere. '94 of Perkins trying to play spoiler here. Working with the inside line. He's on fresh tyres. And now he gets out of the way once more. He was doing some mean pushing there, but he was taking up space. There's Barnes v Hennessy right now at the front of the field. Slammer and Kraus second in line for both lanes. It's all about who can be the most aggressive here and do it safely. That outside line looks so strong. Barnes is clear of Hennessy. Will he jump down low? He kind of is. There we go. He does now. Here goes Slammer and Harmon on the outside. Looks like Barnes has gotten clear once more, but not for long. That momentum for the outside line is massive right now. And Matt Sisler, who was the cause of that caution, is somehow back up there in P6. That's a huge surprise. Frank Isaacson right up there as well. He's sitting in P7. Going to be side by side with Ortega. The outside line getting some really good momentum right now. They're really well organized. That's what's going to determine which lane wins this, how organized they are as they're driving. And it looks like Barnes went up to side draft. It kind of worked, but kind of didn't. He almost got shuffled to the middle lane. Slammer led that lap. Led it quite comfortably. Here comes Barnes once again. And he's gotten clear of Slammer. Is he going to slide up? No, he's not. He's going to stay down low. Barnes is still clear of the Slammer car. Now he moves up into that high lane. And here comes Hennessy on the inside. Barnes v Hennessy once more. Come through turns 3 and 4. Laps are winding down. I think while we have the advantage right now, we are going to have a quick commercial break. Even though things are really exciting, this one will only take 60 seconds. And after this, we will be going to the checkered flag, so stay tuned. Racing Action will be returning shortly. Welcome back to the Barnes and Hennessy show here at the Gladiator 170 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Barnes with the advantage on the outside line. And we just completed lap 77. So laps are winding down. And this race still has a lot to give. That inside line has really fractured during that commercial break. It's just Hennessy and Kraus really working that inside line. But it doesn't really seem to matter because they are staying right up there with these guys. If Sisler was to move down to the inside line, it'd probably help, as we've got two people pitting now. That's Ortega and Chambliss have just pitted. So we could start seeing some green flag stops here shortly. As now Slama pushes Barnes clean and clear, jumps down to the inside line. That's what the inside line needed. This has unified the inside line just ever so slightly. That three cars on the inside, a little bit more organized than the three on the outside. Now add in the 24 of Frank Isaacson on the inside line. All they really need is for the 7 of Kyle Kraus to get a little bit closer to Hennessy, and they would be just about unstoppable. But there is still the possibility that everyone will have to make another stop, as a little bit sideways was the 9 of Slama that time. The bump was too big from the 94 of Hennessy. The drafting going on along the back straight, getting some of the trucks unsettled. This is Slama's best chance of coming home with a win here. Travis Barnes and Thomas Harmon is a formidable combo there on the outside line, though. Zisler, an excellent driver in his own right, has had a couple of really good results within the Winstall Racing League, although he is starting to experiment with some alternate dimensions. That's not going to be doing the outside line any favors whatsoever. As Barnes tries to get clear of Slama, can't quite get there. Slama and Hennessy pull right back up door to door with Harmon and Barnes. The lead has changed over so many times in the ticker there on the left of the screen. It's hard to keep track of how many times it's actually changed. As we are coming to 85 complete this time at the line. It means just 25 laps to go. And that time, Barnes looked a little bit settled coming out of 4. But it didn't seem to ruin his momentum any, as he's taken over the lead of the inside line. The 51 of Matt Horton's right there now to try and push Harmon. Big push coming from Hennessy on Slama as well. Now it's Harmon, Horton, and Perkins on the outside line. Horton, we know, very aggressive driver. He's had a lot of bad luck in the last couple of seasons, and Travis Barnes pulls in. He gets out of it. They're pitting. Pit stops are underway. Oh, and there's almost contact. Barnes comes in super hot. This is what I was talking about. Green flag stops well and truly underway now. This swings the advantage possibly back to those who have pitted, like Cook, Champeau, Watson and Griesbaum. We'll have to wait and see how they're going to shake out with all this. As more pit stops underway. Harmon, Sanders, Baylor, Isaacson, Marquez, Pizzakemi. They're all in the pits. Just 7 left to complete another pit stop. It looks like Horton pitting all on his lonesome. That's horrible. He's pit all by himself. He's not going to have anyone with him when he comes out of the pits. Probably see the rest of these guys coming into the pits this time. Nope, just Kyle Kraus. No one wanted to pit with him as well. In fact, I tell a lie. Pentacup went into the pits with him. So now Jonathan Hernandez leads the way from Rickard, Collins, and Sanchez. Darren Sanchez, league founder, up into P4 in the 4 car. Hernandez, Rickard, Collins, and Sanchez pit this time. So now all eyes will be on the 7. He's just coming out there. Where is he going to line up with everyone else? There they all are. Because he's got no help, they're just going to swallow him right up. Campbell, Hennessy, the effective leaders of this race right now. As they catch up to Kraus. Big check up for the inside line. Watson in contention once more, P2. It's Hennessy and Watson now take over the inside line. Around the outside of the other pit as they go. Hennessy now officially back in the lead. But will he have help? He will from Kraus. Watson went to the outside to try and make some magic happen. Thought Kraus was going to go with him. Kraus ditched him. They're 3 wide back in the pack as they're trying to work out positions still. A couple of the trucks still trying to get back up to speed. Griesbaum is back in this fight as well. Three wide for the lead as Hennessy got put to the middle. Oh, this is very tight racing right now. We've got 2 lines of 3x3. Griesbaum said, nope, I'm not about this. Oh, into the fence, we're going to crash. Griesbaum involved. Caution is out. What unfolded here? So, oh, Watson's hit the fence right there. And it looks like Greasebalm did as well. He's glanced off the fence. Started coming down, was trying to pit the gap across the nose of Chambliss, and then he made contact with the 30 out of Harmon, who's gone around into the fence big time. Is Greasebalm. Oh, Slammer just had a glancing blow on Chambliss as well. Slammer, who was looking so good for so long there. Chambliss also with a big touch in that. And I heard at least one engine blow, maybe two. Those are the cars involved in this one. Have a look at Thomas Harmon here. He's still rolling, which is good. Still up there in P8. Everyone who was out there on old tires have pitted. Kyle Kraus in the 7, leading the way. We had 9 cars stay out under this caution, actually. My cat is going nuts. He's excited for what this last 12 laps or so is going to be. Campbell's still in the pits getting repairs done. Corey Cooks just entered the pits. He was the lucky dog wave around. So he got his lap back, I do believe. Looks like Andrew Greasebalm, unfortunately, out of racing action. But that's to be expected. We did hear his engine go boom. Good to see the lights go out on the pace car here. And we'll get the green signal. There they go. Like Kyle Kraus is going to choose the inside lane. Remember, the leader does have lane choice. And the start will be on the leader inside of the restart zone. And we'll get the green here. As I said, with 12 laps to go. Because we are so close to the end, this has the potential to become very chaotic. Alright, the pace car is in. 12 laps to go. They get into the restart zone and they fire off. Very good jump there for Kyle Kraus. You don't want to get too good of a jump. And it looks like he might have gotten too good of a jump. He's going to have to work these lanes perfectly if he wants to maintain the lead. But keeping Andrew Hennessy behind him will be a hard task. Here come both lanes now. Ortega right on his tail. I think that's Dad Faylor on the inside, just getting out of everyone's way as he goes a lap down. There's Kraus and Hennessy battling it out. Barnes pushing Hennessy on the outside line. Ortega right there pushing Kyle Kraus. James Watson still up there in the mix in P5. P6 is 51 of Matt Horton. as they go 2x2 formation. We tend to go at the line this time. And this is where the racing intensity is going to pick up. We do have the potential for 2 green-white checkered finishes. Or 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish, I should say. And that outside line just seems to have all the momentums right now as Hennessy just surges ahead of Kraus. But look at Kraus come back to him on the inside line. Ortega right up all over all the business of Kraus. Frank Isaacson up there in the top 10 as well. He's looking good in P10. There's potential for some great points here. But this is where all the bumps are going to start becoming a lot bigger. We're pushing, become much more furious. And the top 2 are clear. Now will Barnes stay with Hennessy or will he dip down low and try and take advantage? At the moment he's staying up high. And here goes Horton out to the inside line. Horton fancies his chances of going for the win. Now the question right now is not going to be about bump drafting. Bump drafting is going to happen. It's how big of a bump can you take? The field fractured a little bit behind. Still Hennessy leading the way. Matt Horton will be absolutely willing to 7 across to get right up on his bumper, pushing for everything it's worth. Side by side, he is with the leader now. Inside line showing its advantage. It is the shortest way around the track. 5 to go. The inside line has died out slightly. What's going to happen here is we've got 4 left now. If you want to come from deep in the pack, you've got to start making some monstrous moves. Horton trying to get that side draft going on the 106 truck. Couldn't quite get it. Ortega and Kraus pushing for everything it's worth. Scott Rickard forcing Hernandez into the 3rd lane. James Watson running every lane possible behind the 3 wide. Just 2 to go this time. We're going to get a caution. It's going to have to be on this lap, or else we'll get the white flag and then it'll be clean and clear. We won't get a caution. The race will be over. 3 lines of racing action. Barnes trying to get away from Hennessy. Can't quite get there. Coming out of turns 3 and 4. It's going to be caution. Caution is out. And I think 00 is involved in this one. What happened to Jonas Marquez? He's on the low lane here. He's got Pizzakemi on his outside and Frank outside of him. And that looks all fine coming into the corner. Fizikami is holding him pretty tight. It is the last couple of laps. Oh, but Jonas just swings out a little bit. That might have been a little bit of net code that just pushed Jonas up high. And then they just kind of get stuck together. Oh, no. Frank is going to be heavily involved in this as well. Oh, that's unfortunate for all three of those drivers. There's big damage on the 78. There'll be big damage on the 24. And huge damage on the 00. But what this does mean is that we now will have our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. So basically the race will keep extending. When we get the green, it'll be 2 to go. Then we'll get the white flag and then checkered flag. But if a caution comes out before we get the white flag, then we will go into our second attempt of a green-white checkered finish. And Matt Horton should be happy about this because he won't be behind Hennessy. He'll be starting next to him. Travis Barnes will be behind Hennessy though, because I'm fully expecting Hennessy to choose the inside lane. Hennessy knows how aggressive of a driver Barnes is, and he'll want that on his bumper to try and secure the lead. But Matt Sisler will be starting out of 4th. A lot of cars running the apron around here on the pace laps, trying to save some fuel. I see you, Travis Barnes. Here we go, 1 to green, 3 to go. Unless we get another caution. There's going to be Hennessy, Horton, Barnes, Sisler, Ortega, Champeau, Rickard, Hernandez, Harmon, and Masia as your top 10. Slama and Griesbaum are out. TJ Crampton has made 2 positions. He will now be 25th officially, with no chance of gaining any more from here. Corey Cook in the pits. He was the lucky dog wave around. Looks like Frank Isaacson unfortunately a lap down. Same to Paul Brian Pizzicami, both of them in the pits. But here we go, the first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. The pace car will make the hard left turn into pit lane. And the start will be on Andrew Hennessy inside of the Geico restart zone. Here we go, it all comes down to this. And we're green.
Go, go, go. Green flag.
Great start from both on the inside lane. Horrible start from the 93 of Sisler on the outside. That's really not helped Horton out at all. Entire field is a little bit fractured here, as our top 3 are pulling away from the rest of the pack. Reggie Ortega, he's looking for P4. And Horton jumps to the outside line. He saw the momentum coming. And it looks like Barnes trying the same thing. Hennessy's going to block it. They're 3 wide for second, beating and banging. And Barnes is going to get shuffled down the order. But it is white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. We will not get a caution from here. If a crash happens, then they'll get penalized for it next week. Oh, there's a crash. Hernandez was around. Didn't see what happened there to Hernandez. We'll probably have to check that out after the race is over. But Andrew Hennessy will win right here at Atlanta. Sorry, That's not my usual way of ending the race. Andrew Hennessy wins the Gladiator 170 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well done. P2 went the way of Horton. P3, Reggie Ortega. Oh, that was excellent. What a great way to finish the race. As we look at the results here, it's Hennessy, Horton, Ortega, Sisler, Rickard, Champeau, Harmon, Watson, Matthew, and Barnes, who got shuffled out, finishing in P10 there. Chambliss, Sanchez, Collins, Cook, Marquez, Pentacuff, Hernandez, Perkins, Baylor, and Kraus. That is down to your top 20, with Kraus being a lap down, and Sanders, Campbell, Isaacson, Pisakemi, Cranton, Slama, and Griesbaum. Having a look at my other little order here, and I can see some discrepancies. Not sure what's going on with that. But well done, Andrew Hennessy. Well-deserved win. But let's see what happened to Hernandez here at the end of this race. Go back it right up. There he is. So as they come off of turn 2, he's going to be in the middle of 3 wide there with Barnes. On the inside is Watson. And can't tell if that was Barnes coming down or Hernandez coming up. There's definitely some netcode in that. Around he goes. Very lucky not to collect anyone else. He did check someone up there. I think that might have been Griesbaum. He was able to get it back going and cross the line. Fortunately not in a great position, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But anyway, we're going to go to another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. It is now time for our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And today's Hard Charger started in 20th position, if you don't mind, finishing up there in P5, plus 15 for the race. It is last season's champion himself, the '05, Mr. Scott Rickard. Scott, you survived.
Yeah, that was the whole plan right in the back. First 90 laps of it was to just make it to the end and have a chance at getting a good finish and maybe winning.
That definitely looked like a very weird kind of strategy race. Some people choosing to pit on that caution at the start, some people choosing not to, pitting halfway and still looking pretty decent results wise. What was it like for you trying to figure out what to do with your strategy throughout this race?
I Especially with that first pit. There's some people that stay out for stage points. I'm not worried. I wasn't worried about that, getting them this race. I just wanted to make it to the end and die pit. Just I expected us to actually right before we actually made it to green flag pit stops again at at first time. So, and I didn't practice any green flag pit stops, so that was purely guessing off Jonathan, and he didn't plan. He didn't do one either. So we survived.
Now let's just talk about the race itself. A very hard to pass track. It looked like the momentum kept swapping between the inside and the outside lane, with the majority of the time outside having the momentum advantage. What was it like just trying to navigate the way that the truck was feeling with obviously the super speedway setup here at the Atlanta track?
It fell a lot better than when I drove the Xfinity car here yesterday. That one got loose on the entry to every corner after about 20 laps. This one felt pretty decently the hill time. It's just try and make sure you just didn't get in a bad spot in time with people checking up or anything where you got damage.
All right, now let's talk about the setup for the green white checker there. Obviously, a very late race caution as we're coming to get the white flag and turn it into a caution. What was it like just trying to get mentally prepared for what could have been utter chaos?
I was ready, or I at least was up front for if they somehow wrecked them on the white flag. I was hoping to be able to switch through it before I got collected in it. And they fortunately for me, they did. Fortunately for them, I guess for they didn't. And unfortunately, I got fed to leave. So I still got here with good points at the end of the day.
All right, well, let's look forward to next week then. Going to be going to the Bristol Motor Speedway. What's the feeling like for you as we head to Thomas's favorite track?
If you asked me that 6 months ago, I'd say I hate it. Past month or so in a couple leagues, I've done really well there. So actually, I'm starting to look forward to it now. See if I can continue being good there.
All right, awesome. Well, before we let you go here tonight, Scott, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
My dog, Team Watson, and everybody puts the league on.
Right, well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home with the Autism Awareness Hard Charger and a fairly decent top five. Look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Bristol.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner, the '05 of Scott Rickard. Coming up next, we are going to have our third place getter, and tonight's third place was the 22 of Mr. Reggie Ortega. Reggie, it
How's
looked
it going,
like it
man?
was a lot of fun out there tonight, man. Like just the way that the trucks were handling, the way that the draft was working, it just looked like a ton of fun.
Yeah, it really was a ton of fun to drive. I mean, the way that the trucks handled entering the corner after the tires wore out, um, got tight for a little bit, and then got a little loose afterwards after during a long run. So it was really fun to be able to drive the car or the truck around, especially with the style of racing. So yeah, it definitely made it a lot of fun, and um, nerve wracking as well. You know, just with everybody not being able to hold the line and all that. But yeah, I still had a lot of fun. I'm just happy to get this top three. It's been a rough season.
Indeed, it has. I guess the crux of this race is you survived.
Yeah, yeah. That was my main concern. Obviously, is I'm pretty sure everybody else's as well is just survival, just because of the style of racing it is for this type of track now with the reconfiguration. But yeah, I'm just happy that I got this finish. Coming into this race, I thought about hanging out in the back, Denny Hamlin style, and just try to salvage some points, just but no, just knowing where I was putting myself at after the cautions and the pit stops and stuff, I felt like I definitely had a shot to definitely get a definitely get a top five. But once I saw that where I was at, late in the race, I thought maybe maybe I have a shot to win it.
Yeah, how quickly does your plan change on the fly? Because it's not something that I generally talk about too much with drivers, but plans can change and then change and then change again very quickly when you're in the car. So what's it like just trying to go through plans A through Z and trying to figure out which one to use at which time?
Yeah, because of the fuel, well, because of the cautions when they came out and going down pit road, the plans definitely do change, and the way that the sketchy pit road is, and because you're going so fast and it's really hard to go down to pit, to the entry of pit road, just because of how banked the track or the corner is. Um, it's just there's so much is into play, right? You gotta really get a strategy going, so riding around and trying to think, just talking most of the time of trying to figure out what you're gonna do and what could happen and all that. Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot is going down. So much like the talks of how much fuel to put, at the end, and because there were some of us that weren't able to make it, and there were some of us that were able to make it to the end, but we just needed that last pit stop. And oh yeah, it was talks of how much fuel and then how much if we're gonna put right sides or four or whatever. And me and Brian were teammates obviously, and we're working together. Doesn't look like it. We're working together in the race, but we were definitely working together as far as strategy. And we put the same amount of fuel in at the end, but I was kind of nervous on how much fuel I put in, because if we couldn't catch up to a pack, then yeah, it was definitely going to be, it was definitely going to be a nervous run to the end, because I was getting really close to possibly being really close to running out. So luckily the cautions came out and was able to save fuel. So yeah, strategy just goes out the window at that point, and it's everywhere. Oh yeah, it's just really chaotic.
All right, now let's look forward to next week, mate. Going to be going to the Bristol Motor Speedway. So what's it feeling like for you as we head out to Tennessee?
I like Bristol. Um, hopefully, it's not chaotic, like the season has been. So we'll just hope for a good run there.
All right, man. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone we want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, definitely thank out all the people that run the league and everything. They're doing a good job, and glad they're able to keep this going. And you for for the broadcast and all that, definitely do a good job. And like to watch it from time to time, just, to see how things are. And then definitely my teammate Brian for sticking it out. We definitely had other teammates that were in it and then left, but it's gonna be a fun season.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home P3 here tonight. And we look forward to
Thank
seeing
you.
what we can do next week at Bristol.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. That was our third place getter, 22 of Reggie Ortega. Coming up next, he's usually one of the hard luck stories of the league, but tonight he absolutely smashed it with a really awesome P2. Can you please all welcome the 51 of Mr. Matt Horton? Matt, I'm so glad to see you finally in a top three again after so much heartbreak, especially last season.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've done the interview with you, Corey, and I'm glad to be back.
Now, let's talk about the race. You're up towards the front for a vast majority of it, looking pretty good. And there was a couple of times where you yo-yoed a little bit, what was it like just trying to deal with the way that this race was going, the way that the tires were feeling, and just the overall strategy, especially with the way that early caution fell?
Um, Honestly, at the beginning, I was just saving fuel because I thought there was a chance we might go green. We kind of settled in, but we got the early caution, and then from there, it was kind of just pick your spots, try to get them right, try and get into the right lane, and miss the wrecks. And fortunately, I was able to do all of that. And yeah,
Now, what was it like just trying to decide which lane to go with? Because there were certain times where the inside lane seemed to have the bigger advantage, then it would swap to the outside lane. So what was it like just trying to figure out which lane to go with, and trying to get yourself into that best position to try and go for the win?
um, towards the end there, Travis, I think it was Travis, and Andrew were kind of both working together on the top, and I didn't want to sit behind him and do nothing. So I jumped down low there in front of, I think it was Kyle, and we were making some pretty good momentum there coming to the white flag, and then the caution came out for the green white checkered, and then from there it was just pedal to the floor and hope for the best.
Well, it definitely worked out pretty well. Obviously, not coming home with the win, but a very, very decent result here tonight. As again, considering especially how bad last season was for you.
Yeah, no, I will take second. It's been rough for me the last couple seasons, even the beginning of this one. So I'll definitely take it.
All right, now let's look forward towards next week, Matt. Going to be going to the Bristol Motor Speedway. So, what's the feeling like for you as we head to the last great Coliseum?
Um, Not particularly great there. I haven't really. I'm not too confident, but um, you know, hell, I finished top 5 there in the Xfinity Series last year. So who knows? Maybe we can do it again next week.
All right, Matt. Before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Oh yeah, all the guys who make this league possible. Obviously yourself for doing these broadcasts, Corey, and all the people who come out each and every week. It was a rough start to the season, but we've all kind of got our acts together, and the racing's been really fun.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much for coming out, man. Congratulations on coming home with P2, and hopefully
Thank you.
more solid results coming your way as the season progresses.
One can hope.
All right, guys, that was our second place getter here tonight, the 51 of Mr. Matt Horton. Coming up next is a man who really needs no introduction. He's always towards the front of the field, and he showed it here tonight. He had a horrible qualifying effort, being down in P12, horrible by his standards, that is. But he comes home with the win. It is, of course, the 94 of Mr. Andrew Hennessy. Andrew, what the hell happened in qualifying?
I don't know, but I finished the race for once, so I guess that's good here. uh, yeah, qualifying wasn't that great, obviously, with the group qualifying. Yeah, I wasn't that worried about qualifying though. With this track, obviously, it's not the most important, but it ended up working out, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit mystified at the fact that it was group qualifying. I completely wasn't
Yep, same.
expecting it when I saw it. But yeah, things seem to just work out for you. Like no matter how good or bad you qualify, you always find your way towards the front of the field, and
I think
somehow.
this race was definitely more luck based than others.
What was the strategy
um,
like? Because obviously we had that early caution. The majority of the field pitted, 5 didn't. And it definitely threw a little bit of a spanner into the works a little bit there, especially since you had just taken the lead at that point.
Yeah, that was interesting because I was like, okay, we're just gonna ride out to the stage, and then the college came out. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So like, I debate on staying out, but I'm like, I don't really need the points. So then I just came in, got fuel and tires, and then the rest of the race we're just kind of trying to keep within the top 4. I was trying to work with Joe, trying to keep us 2 up front mostly. Travis was a pretty good pusher. He was a little aggressive, but he was a good pusher. Um, so it was mostly just about trying to keep the track position once I was able to get it at the start of stage 1.
So what was it like trying to come up with the plan of when to pit? Because obviously, pitting under green is never any fun around here, especially with the way that you got to come off the banking onto the flat of the apron. So what was it like just trying to figure out when to pit and who to pit with?
Yeah, I never known green flag stop here before in the pack, so that was interesting. I didn't know when anybody was coming. I just waited till someone in front of me said, "I'm pitting." I'm like, "Okay, I'm pitting too then." So, and it ended up being like me, Travis, Joe, and I think the 93. There was a green car, I think, in there. There was like 4 or 5 of us, and then
Yeah.
I had a really good pit stop, and then it was like 2 seconds ahead of them, which I don't know what happened. I'm not sure they took 4 because I only took 2. And then, luckily though, the pack with who didn't pit during that caution in stage 1, I got into the back of them and I just slingshot past all of them because they were all on old tires, which was interesting. I didn't expect to be able to pass like 9 cars by myself, but yeah, I didn't realize tires mattered that much here. But yeah, it was definitely interesting pitting under green. I was kind of that was the thing I was worried the most. Honestly, was I was really hoping there'd be someone who just spun or wrecked so that we wouldn't have to do it. But it ended up working out.
All right, now let's talk about that final restart there. Um, you know, Matt Horton, who had been having a lot of bad luck last season, he's pulled out a miraculous finish here, which we're more accustomed to seeing him do. But he definitely poured on a lot of pressure for you and Travis there in the closing laps before the green white checkers.
Yeah, my plan was just stay with Travis because he was a really good pusher. I felt like if he was behind me, he was like I was. There was no way that anyone was going to get past us. And then coming off of 4, Travis went high, so I'm like, okay, I'll go high with you. And then he tries to go all the way to the wall, and I'm like, okay, I'll just go back to the bottom then. And I guess he got put free and ended up getting kind of screwed. And then Reggie gave me a really good push. I didn't really work with him most of the night, but he was a really good pusher at the end there to help me secure the win over Horton. It was a good move by Horton, though, going middle of free. That gave him more of a chance than just pushing Travis to the win, but I think I'm a little biased because I think I would have lost if he did that.
All right, well, let's look forward to next week. We're going to be going to the concrete hell known as the Bristol Motor Speedway. So what's the feeling like for you as we head into Tennessee?
I can't wait. I love Bristol. That's my favorite track, so it should be fun. Hopefully, we can get some green flag runs in. That's when Bristol's the most fun. It's when you're just like going through traffic on like 100 lap old tires, then you can't turn anymore. So hopefully we're able to do that.
Well, here's hoping. But before we let you go here tonight, man, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, you for doing the broadcast, everyone in this league, for showing up every week and all the admins who put it on. And thank you, Ricky, for my paint scheme.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, man. Congratulations on coming home with another win. And we look forward to seeing what we can do next week at Bristol.
Thank you. Yeah, should be a lot of fun.
All right, guys, that was tonight's winner, the 94 of Mr. Andrew Hennessy. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out. I did see that we got a new follower here tonight as well, so welcome to the family Blue Hands. And until next week, I have been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Tennessee.